learn guitar, you're picking up the instrument, and you just feel like anything you play is so cool. You start from these nice chords that we all learn. Day passes and you might learn the pentatonic scale from a friend. But after a while, something happens and you feel stuck. You feel like you're lacking something and you're not sure how to make progress. And over the last 2 decades or so, I've been helping so many guitarists break out of that. And today I want to give you 5 tips that you can start implement to get out of the rut. And I think that the first thing that I see many people getting stuck with is having to think in notes, in harmony, and in connections. Notes, just picking up the guitar and saying out loud the notes while you play for 5 minutes a day will make a huge change in your awareness. Yes, as simple as that. Here's an F. Here's an F on another string. Here's another F, another F, another F, another F. Well, what if I want to maybe play a scale on one string? That will help me too. So I can go F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F. And then go to the next string. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. You do that with a few keys. And even with that pentatonic you learned, right? Let's do that on one string. So you have... You see, these are the notes of that pentatonic scale. Already you're getting a more sense of direction on the instrument. Then you do the same thing with the next string. Next string. You keep doing that with materials that you learn. Hey, but what about those chords you learned? What about those? Well, take a piece of paper and write down the notes that construct these chords. That's your next step, okay? With me so far? Here we go. You learned this C chord. Take a piece of paper, write down C, E, G. Those are the notes that are constructing that chord. Good. Now pick 3 strings, any 3 strings. Let's start with these low ones. And look for those notes. Here's C, E, G, right? What about starting from G? G, C, E. You see, now you're starting to get into a completely transforming place where you're learning triads. This, my friend, is all C major. Now you might have been asking, like, why should I learn all of these? And that's a good question to ask. The reason being is because that's going to free you to think in harmony and not being stuck in this box. So whenever you see C, you have many options that you can create with. Let's say you have F. You do the same thing with F. You write down on a piece of paper the notes. And you get F, A, C. Those are the notes constructing that chord. And then you look for them. For example, here's A, C, and F. And then that's a first inversion. And what about the second inversion over here, right? Now you have F in the middle. That's a second inversion. And here's F, A, C. So you see now, these chords are starting to open up on the fretboard. You can have C to F, that's one sound, or C to F, C to F, C to F. And then you can do that on the other sets of strings. Here's a C, it's exactly like this one. To F, C to F, C to F, C to F. After a while, you start feeling more comfortable with these. It's just something that happens, You do it a lot, and all of a sudden, when someone says C, what's working is your imagination. The imagination of where should I play it on the instrument? Should I play it here? Or maybe I'm feeling like playing it just like that. You see, but now your imagination can take you places. As for before, you were stuck in this. Alright? Knowing the notes, knowing the triads, starting to voice leading. But what's the next step, you might ask? Well, the next step is to start associating each triad into a full arpeggio. And how do you do that? And why do that? Well, you see, arpeggios are the building blocks of a lot of the most melodic stuff that you can imagine. And even if beautiful solos are happening over chords that are changing, it's still serving a place in the arpeggio. Landing on strong beats on the chord tones is happening even if you're not sure, because every chord tone is being surrounded by some scalar motion, giving you the illusion that it's a phrase. But a lot of the time, it's simply a way of going from one target tone to the next. I know this might seem like a lot, and I've been there before, and I know exactly how it is. But I think something really important to do is to, let me move to this camera, that's nicer, to ask yourself, what is your bigger goal with music? Maybe your bigger goal with music is to be able to simply comp yourself with open chords and sing, and maybe you don't need to learn all the triads and arpeggios. Maybe that's your goal. Maybe you're into learning standards and improvising over different tunes. Well, if that's the case and you feel stuck, well, you should definitely take triads and voice leading seriously. Maybe you already know scales and some triads, but you're not sure how to start making music with them. Well, that's exactly why you should start associating melodies and different materials, language, to those triads and to those materials. And if you are looking for a step-by-step system to do that, you are invited to check out my Galactic Modern Guitar series in the link in the description, where I go step by step through a full program that will take you all the way from triads to arpeggios, voice leading. Once we have those down really well, we start adding different notes, like the add to, which is the second degree. We start adding that into our arpeggios. And then from there, we start experimenting with approaching those arpeggios with different enclosures, chromatics, and creating actual phrases over changes with them. So step by step, we skill stack or stack skills as we go. There's 35 modules in that program, which can take you approximately 4 months to complete. But you do have lifetime access to it. And it is the roadmap that will take you from where you are right now to where you want to be, which is complete fretboard freedom. And you can check that out once again. The link to do that is in the description of this video. I always say, regardless even of the course, that mastering the fundamentals and acquiring language into them unleashes your creativity. And that's something that I always practice. If I'm learning something new, maybe it's the Melodic Minor improvisations, or maybe some Bebop, or maybe I'm transcribing some ideas that are more modern, I will always associate that material as language back into the most fundamental elements. So maybe that sounds like a big project right now, but I promise you that you don't need to be confused and you don't need to be stuck in all this paralysis analysis, because I have everything structured on my website waiting for you. Definitely something I wish I had back in the days, and it would have saved me so much time and so much confusion, and looking back, also so much money spending on different random guitar lessons this course is the roadmap you've been looking for, and I've put 3 years of hard work into it, and you should definitely go and check it out right now. And let's go back to the guitar. All right. So going on through the different modules of that course, when you take a certain triad, if you take the high note and you put it down an octave, now you have the next set of strings. You see, it's the root position, and when I take that high note and I put it down an octave, this is how I start forming my arpeggios. This, by the way, is a second inversion. So I can connect these shapes by taking the high note and put it down an octave. Take the high note and put it down an octave, and then I have these shapes. This is still C major, putting all of the high notes down an octave. So now, from knowing the C chord, I have its arpeggios. Isn't that cool? So how do you start making phrases with that? So for example, what you can do is you can start adding information into that arpeggio. Another thing you can do is you can start experimenting with different rhythms. So for example, that would be just playing the arpeggio with some rhythm in mind. But you can also add another degree, like the second degree. The second degree of C is D. So you can add that. You see, within that triad, I added another note in there. And now it sounds a little bit more melodic. Let's do it with this inversion over here. So that's further within the course. You start adding different notes. Now, a lot of people ask me about chromatics. Well, you can do that too. If you think about each note as a landing point, now you can start getting from one chord tone to the next. So this is the 5 G, and you want to go to the 3. So what you can do, you can go 5 goes to the 3rd. See, I'm utilizing chromatic notes to fill in the 16th notes to land on a strong beat. So you can think about it as 1 E and a 2, 1 E and a 2. Now let's try going from this 3rd to this root. 3rd goes to the root. And that's how you get a nice phrase. And you can keep doing that, also going from the root to the 5th and so on, and you get this. You see, it's just the arpeggio, but I'm filling in the notes. And when you start doing that over chord changes, it really starts to sound like an actual solo. So again, that's just the beginning here. If you want to have that as a full program that you can practice and totally transform your playing, you can do that on my website, weissguitar.com. Now, of course, this can take time. If you're trying to figure it out on your own, you might get a few cool stuff that can happen, but these things are always better to do with a step-by-step workout, a practice routine, something that is constructed so you don't have to go and figure out and connect all of the different dots from random lessons on YouTube and from just trying to understand everything by yourself. It can take you so much time, and honestly, most of the guitar players that tried to do it and that I witnessed just ended up really frustrated. And it doesn't need to be the case. So once again, inviting you to check out my Galactic Modern Guitar series. Everything you need to master the guitar, fretboard on it, all in one place. So that's it. I wish you creative freedom and fretboard freedom. And if you have any questions, you can comment below and I'll answer, or you can reach out to me through my website, or anyway, so I'm always here for you, as you know. Stay in touch, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye bye.